Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla TV, here to talk to you about Roland Sand's Moto Footpegs for Harley. Those of you who are looking for a set of foot pegs have probably run across the Motos. These are a super cool design. They're very different than a lot of stuff on the market. They're going to give your bike a really unique look. These are going to fit just about any Harley out there that uses a male mount foot peg, but I think primarily we're going to see these on Sportsters and Dynas and maybe the occasional Softail. Probably not going to see anything on a touring V-Rod or street machine. However, the other three families, like I said, there's a lot of choice here, and you're going to be able to use these both in the driver and passenger portion of your bike if you are so inclined. Installation on foot pegs is really not particularly difficult. You're probably looking at a 1 out of 3 beard installation, which is not very hard. Most people should be able to get it accomplished with your basic hand tools. So moving right into these things, those of you who know Roland Sands know that he has a really interesting design philosophy. It's all about aesthetics with him, and these foot pegs are no different than anything else. What Roland has done here really is brought sort of a dirt flavor to Harley style pegs. It's kind of an interesting mix of the two of these, and while these aren't a straight dirt peg per se, there's definitely a lot of influence here, which you can see. Those of you guys who do cruise around in dirt machines know these are obviously too big to be a dirt peg. A true dirt peg would be much smaller. However, the design influence is the same, and insofar as a Harley peg, these things are super tiny. You can see here they've got this cool serration up top that's going to help your boots bite in when you're actually riding around in these things. And you'll also notice too that these things are very open between the speed holes on the side and the open nature of the inside of the peg, the serrated section there. You can see that these things are super open, and that's also by design. The reason dirt bike pegs are open like that is to help clear dirt. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are ripping through whoopses and motocross tracks in your Harley. I know I'm not, but there are plenty of times when I'm in a muddy campground and I do have some just crud in the bottom of my boots. These will help kind of clean them out, and they'll stay clean over the course of the bike. The other thing is, because they're kind of small and you can see they taper at the ends, they're going to help give your bike a little better cornering clearance. So if you're rocking a set of mid mounts, or if you have forward mounts that stick out too far, these should help clean up, bring your bike in a little tighter, and maybe give you a little bit more lean angle when you're cruising through a corner here or there. These are made of aluminum. You guys can't feel it, but I can because I'm hanging on to a set of these. These are super duper light. I know that weight's not always the primary consideration when you're on a Harley, but still, anytime you can drop a little bit of weight here or there, it's not a bad thing. These come in two finishes, chrome and black. You can see we have the black ones in front of us. I like the black ones. These are a very nice finish, but again, those of you who have ridden dirt know that, the area right near your foot controls, your engine side cases and the controls themselves, they actually start to wear. The paint or the anodizing wears off them, and you can actually see that they have genuine, honest use on them. And sort of reminiscent of that, those bare side covers is what these pegs are going to look like after you've been riding them for months and years. As time goes on, you're going to have that genuine, honest, worn-in look, and I think that's kind of a nifty thing. There's nothing wrong with riding your bike around and showing people that you actually do put some miles on the thing. Installation. We had talked earlier about installation being easy, but there are a couple caveats. Firstly, these pegs come in two styles. They come in a 45-degree mount and a flat mount. So just to give you a heads up, a 45-degree mount will be tipped. So if you have forward controls, you're going to want to see this thing sort of tipped so your foot has a place to rest against it. Those of you with mid-mount controls, or those of you who are using this in the passenger position, are going to want the straight mount, and that sort of gives you a flat area to put your foot. It can be a little confusing, but if you order the wrong peg, it's going to be uncomfortable or possibly even unrideable. So just make sure you're getting the right thing. Those of you on some late model Sportsters too, off the top of my head I can think of 72s, a couple of the customs. There are some weird ones that have these things called offset clevises, and that's the thing that the peg actually mounts into. And one end of the clevis will actually be longer than the other. You got two options. You can either take your grinder or your file out if you're careful and reshape it to match the other side. And if that's not quite up your alley, we actually offer the standard mounts. They're just the standard Harley equal length clevises. So if you need a set of those, make sure you order them with your foot pegs. The final piece you may want to consider too is if you're riding a Sportster, or I know there's a Dyna here and there that comes without a passenger setup. If you need a place to mount rear foot pegs, we also sell the foot peg mounts on the site. So really, you can get these on your bike regardless of what kind of setup you're rocking currently. Once you're all set up to go with that, it really is just one bolt install on each of them. It's not a difficult thing to install on your bike. Most people should be able to get these things on and out the door in under half an hour. I think these are a really cool peg. They're going to look great on the right bike. Hopefully your bike is one of those. My opinion, however, is not the only one that matters. Click below, check out what some other riders have had to say about these, or if you have a set yourself and you can answer another rider's question or tell them what you thought, that would also be helpful. If you got some questions I haven't covered for you, give us a yell. See us at RevZilla.com, or you can always get us on the horn, 877-792-9455. I'm Lemmy. I'm out of here.